They say when a legend dies, an era ends. Well, today we lost an icon. When Judge Frank Caprio passed away, it wasn't just a legal community or the state of Rhode Island that mourned. The entire internet grieved. People poured their hearts out on social media, not just with sadness, but also admiration and gratitude. Why? What made this judge so special? How did he touch millions of hearts across continents and cultures? The answer, simply put, was empathy. This man wasn't just known for his rulings, he was renowned for his heart. If you were lucky enough to have stumbled upon his videos online, you would have seen him in action. In the family court in Providence, Rhode Island, where he served for years. He didn't just dispense justice, he doled out compassion. His courtroom was famous for its unique blend of firmness and forgiveness. It was a place where people were held accountable, yes, but also given a second chance, sometimes even a third. In one case, he found a woman in contempt for missing a court-ordered parenting class. He could have sent her to jail. Instead, he asked her why she didn't show up. Turns out she had taken care of her sick mother those days. His response, most judges would send you to jail. I'm not going to do that. But I want you to understand something. There are two emergencies in life. A fire and your child drowning. Anything else is an inconvenience. They'll let her off with a warning. In another case, a young man in trouble for not paying child support. He could have thrown the book at him. But first he listened. He heard that the guy was working odd jobs, trying his best, but struggling to make ends meet. The judge didn't fine him, he helped him. He paid the back child support himself. Then he told the young man, "Don't ever let yourself get into this position again. But you're a good man, and I believe you're going to be a good father. Just don't let me down." These weren't isolated incidents, they were part of his judicial DNA. Now, some might ask, what authority does a judge have to do such things? Isn't his duty to uphold the law, punish wrongdoers? You see, Judge Caprio believed that the law was not just a set of rules, but a tool to serve justice. He knew that sometimes punishment didn't serve justice. Sometimes understanding did. He saw people not just as cases. He treated them with dignity, even when they weren't deserving. Take, for example, the homeless man who repeatedly failed to pay his parking tickets. Instead of piling on fines, the judge offered him a deal. He said, "Pay what you can. Pay it forward." And the man did. He started bringing in quarters, dollars, whatever he could find. One day he handed the judge $23 and said, "Here's my rent money. I won't have a place to stay tonight, but I wanted to pay my debt." The judge accepted the money, but he didn't stop there. He took the man aside later and gave him $100, enough to get a hotel room for a night. He told him, "Pay what you can, but don't pay your rent for a roof over your head. We can work out the tickets." That was Judge Caprio. He didn't just dispense justice. He exemplified it. But what made him even more exceptional was how he carried himself outside the courtroom. Unlike many judges, he didn't put on airs. He didn't lord over his position. He was humble, kind, down to earth. Remember that picture of him shaking hands with a lawyer after a case? Or how he broke down crying during a child's custody case moved by the pain of a child? That was Judge Caprio. Warm, compassionate, real. And it wasn't just people in his courtroom or lawyers who loved him. Even his colleagues respected and adored him. Judges and court personnel who worked with him praised his patience, his wisdom, his ability to connect with people from all walks of life. They saw him as a mentor, a friend, a guiding light in the often gray areas of the law. So, it's no surprise that when he passed away last week at 90, the outpouring of grief was so immense. The internet exploded with tributes to the big judiciary. People dug up old videos, reposted them, sharing stories of their encounters with him. It wasn't just Rhode Islanders or American mourning. People from all corners of the globe paid tribute. "Judge Caprio has made me believe that there are still good people in this world," wrote one person. Another said, "My daughter and I are watching these videos together. She says if she grows up to be half the amazing human being that he is, she'll be successful." These comments sum up what Judge Caprio meant to people. He wasn't just a judge. He was a symbol of hope, a beacon of humanity in a world often perceived as cold and uncaring. Even celebrities joined the chorus of praise. Former NBA player Shaquille O'Neal posted, "Judge Caprio, you were the real deal. You will be missed." Likewise, actress Viola Davis said, Rest well, Judge Caprio. Your legacy of kindness and justice will live on. These tributes weren't just hollow words. They reflected the profound impact this judge had on people's lives. How did he manage to touch so many hearts? Maybe it was his genuine concern for others. Maybe his willingness to listen. Or perhaps it was his belief in second chances. Whatever it was, it resonated with millions. He showed us that being a strict disciplinarian and being humane aren't mutually exclusive. In fact, they complement each other. Being firm doesn't mean being heartless. Being tough doesn't mean being unkind. There's a lesson here for all of us, especially in these times. We live in a world that often feels divided. We see animosity everywhere, hatred, intolerance, a lack of understanding. Amidst this chaos, Judge Caprio stands out as a reminder of what we should all strive for: empathy, compassion, and the courage to act on them. He showed us that even in positions of authority, one can remain humble, that even in moments of judgment, one can be kind. Some may call him soft for his leniency. Others may question his methods, but the results speak for themselves. He transformed lives, not just by handing down sentences, but by offering a helping hand, a listening ear, a word of advice. He saw the good in people, because he believed there was good in everyone, and in doing so, he drew out the best in them. Today, the world mourns the loss of an exceptional man, a man who made a lasting impact on countless lives. Judge Frank Caprio leaves behind a legacy that transcends the legal world. He showed us that justice isn't just about punishment, but about rehabilitation, understanding, and second chances. He was a true champion of human justice, and his absence will be deeply felt. To his family and friends, we extend our deepest condolences. To those whose lives he touched, we share your grief. As we bid farewell to this extraordinary man, let us also take a moment to reflect on his life and the values he stood for. May his story inspire us to be better, kinder, and more compassionate towards one another. Let us strive to be like Judge Caprio, not just in our professional lives, but in our personal lives as well. Let us remember that behind every action, there is a human being. Behind every mistake, a story. Behind every troubled soul, a glimmer of hope waiting to be rekindled. Judge Caprio's journey may have ended, but his legacy will live on in our hearts and minds. Thank you, Judge Caprio, for showing us the true meaning of justice. You showed us that being a judge is not just a profession, but a calling. You are not just a dispenser of law, but a dispenser of hope. You will be dearly missed, but your memory will forever be a guiding light for us all. Rest in peace, dear Judge.